is Tyler McCall with the Center for Presidential History, and I'm here today with Dr. Simon Miles of Duke University. Dr. Miles, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Tyler, thanks for having me. Good to be with you.
So, my first question, what do you think is the most important manner in which your research challenges existing scholarship surrounding Cold War studies?
I think the biggest contribution of my book has to do with how we make sense of the end of the Cold War. And I think in a lot of narratives, it's either framed as an inevitability because of perhaps new leadership in the United States or structural problems in the Soviet system. What my book tries to show is the extent to which this was contingent not only on individuals, whether that's Ronald Reagan, Mikhail Gorbachev, or some of the earlier Soviet leaders like Leonid Brezhnev, Yuri Andropov, Konstantin Chernenko, but also on the big structural changes that they actually ushered in and responded to. So by looking at the first half of the 1980s, I argue in the book, we can make sense of what happens later in the decade.
Absolutely. What was the most surprising part of your research for this book?
Well, I had a ton of fun researching this, in large part because it was full of surprises. I spent a long time in the various Eastern European as well as the Russian Soviet archives. And I think that there are two answers I want to give. The first was just how much extraordinary material we can actually get out of archives sort of on the other side of the former Iron Curtain. And that suffuses my book. But the biggest surprise to me was the extent of ongoing consistent communication between the Reagan administration and their Soviet counterparts at a time when a lot of the conventional wisdom has it, there was no talking, that Reagan wasn't able to do business. What I show in the book is that actually there was a whole world of diplomatic back channeling going on, much of which is only now coming to light.
What is one message that you would want the general public to know to have a more accurate perception of American-Soviet foreign relations as the Cold War was ending?
I think the biggest message here has to do with how we remember Ronald Reagan today. He's been portrayed as having kind of advanced a policy of maximum pressure, or there are a few other terms for it. But basically that all he did was attack the Soviet Union, build up the American military, and that's part of the story. My book doesn't dispute those components. What my book tries to do is show that there's a carrot in Reagan administration grand strategy to go along with all of those sticks. And I think that not only gives us a better understanding of what happened in American foreign relations in the 80s, I think it also gives us an interesting lesson for how the United States can deal with adversaries going forward and get the kind of productive results that the Reagan administration was able to.
Dr. Miles, thank you so much for taking your time to speak with us today, and we're looking forward to having you back with us on Monday, March 22nd at 6 o'clock p.m.
Thanks for having me. Looking forward to joining you.